Hey comedy lovers! Today we're taking a deep dive into something that's made humans laugh since we first walked upright, and probably even before that. Physical comedy, the art of making people laugh without saying a word. Let's begin by analyzing the science of slapstick. You might think getting hit with a pie is just funny because, well, it's a pie to the face. But there's actually fascinating science behind why physical comedy works so well on our brains. When we watch physical comedy, three things happen in our minds. One, our mirror neurons fire, making us feel a shadow of what we're watching. We experience a surge of adrenaline when we see potential danger. And three, our brains quickly realize everything is okay, releasing endorphins. This combination creates a perfect storm of humor. It's why physical comedy works across every culture and language barrier. Think about it. A grandmother in Tokyo, a teenager in Brazil, and a businessman in Egypt will all likely laugh at someone slipping on a banana peel. It's universal. Next, let's take a look at the golden age of physical comedy and time travel to where modern physical comedy really took shape, the silent film era. Charlie Chaplin entered the scene as the poetic clown. Chaplin wasn't just funny, he was an artist. Every movement was choreographed like a dance. Take his famous dinner roll dance from the Gold Rush. Using just 2 forks and 2 rolls, he created a routine people still talk about nearly 100 years later. But it wasn't just silly walks and funny faces. Chaplin used physical comedy to tackle serious issues. Examples of this include the factory scene in Modern Times, which showed the dehumanization of workers, the balloon globe dance in The Great Dictator, which mocked Hitler years before America entered World War II, and even his signature waddle was a parody of authority figures. Next, we have Buster Keaton, the great stone face. If Chaplin was poetry in motion, Keaton was engineering in action. This man never smiled on camera, which made everything 10 times funnier. Let's break down some of his most incredible stunts. The house facade falling in Steamboat Bill Jr. had to be timed to the millisecond. The train sequence in The General involved a real train and no special effects, and his flip into a small window in Sherlock Jr. broke his neck, but he didn't know until years later. The physical comedy revolution brought more hysterical antics. This is when Harold Lloyd came onto the scene as the everyman hero. While Chaplin played the tramp and Keaton played the stoic, Harold Lloyd created something different, the average guy in extraordinary situations. His famous clock tower scene from Safety Last created a template for comedy thriller sequences still used today. Then, Laurel and Hardy emerged as the power of two. These two proved that physical comedy is even better with a friend. Their contrasting physiques and perfect timing created magic. Watch how they turn a simple task, like moving a piano, into an epic adventure. The modern masters of physical comedy only expanded on the foundations laid by these legends. Physical comedy didn't die with the silent era, it evolved. Enter 𝐂𝐎𝐏𝐑𝐈𝐵, the modern mime. Tati brought physical comedy into the modern age. His character, Monsieur Hulot, showed us how funny our relationship with technology could be. His films predicted our modern struggles with tech decades in advance. Then we have Jerry Lewis, or the cartoon come to life. Lewis took physical comedy to new extremes. He could transform his body into a rubber band, creating movements that seemed impossible. His typing scene in Who's Minding the Store is a masterclass in commitment to a bit. Next, Rowan Atkinson demonstrated the power of precision as Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean proved that physical comedy wasn't just about big movements. Atkinson's micro-expressions and precise gestures show how subtle physical comedy can be. Watch his face during the Christmas turkey scene. Every tiny movement tells a story. And how can we discuss physical comedy without talking about Jackie Chan, the action comedy pioneer? Chan revolutionized physical comedy by combining it with martial arts. Every fight scene tells a story through movement, and the comedy comes from his character's reactions to impossible situations. The digital age amplified physical comedy even more. Today, physical comedy lives on through viral videos, TikTok trends, gaming streams, and YouTube creators. The principles haven't changed, but the platforms have. Modern creators are finding new ways to make us laugh through movement. Physical comedy is so successful due to the technical elements. So, let's break down what makes great physical comedy work. First and foremost is timing. The pause before the fall, the rhythmic buildup, and then the perfect moment of impact. And all comedy needs anticipation, which is built by setting up expectations, a misdirection, and then the payoff. Character work is also very important in physical comedy. Maintaining believability, emotional commitment, and physical awareness are all crucial elements to make the comedy work and produce laughs. Creating physical comedy is not a simple task. Here's what the masters all understand. The setup is as important as the punchline, the reaction makes the joke, less is often more, and safety first always. So what does the future of physical comedy look like? As we move into an increasingly digital age, physical comedy is evolving. Virtual reality is creating new possibilities. Motion capture technology allows for impossible movements, and social media provides new platforms for creative expression. Whether it's a perfectly timed pratfall or a complex chain of events, physical comedy remains one of our most powerful tools for bringing joy to others. It reminds us that no matter how sophisticated we become, sometimes the simplest things make us laugh the hardest. Drop a comment below with your favorite physical comedy moment. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into comedy history.